Hi gang, how's it going? Survivors of Christmas 2025. Is this thing on? Is the sound good? We are on Pussy Watch today. He's curled up in a nice little ball there. We'll see if he can withstand the yelling that might ensue. Welcome to the chat. It is the 30th of December 2025. We're right at the end. One more day to go before everyone goes out on PARTY because I'm not partying. Anyone else in the chat? Are you going to be partying on New Year's? Is that a thing still for us old uncles in the chat? Is that a thing? Hello, Daily Dice, Captain Chaos, Inquisitor, Red Richmond, Teo. Still on day 5 of eating Christmas leftover food, apparently. Red Richmond, Jackass Woods, Mithrandon. Hello, everyone. And hello, everyone in the VOD squad watching this afterwards. Don't forget to drop a like, a thumb up on the screen, and attach your Twitch to the thing, apparently. Ah, dear. And yeah, Jean Wayne, good day to you, sir. Last online crusade of 2025. Yes, we're here. We're here to talk about the best and the worst of 2025. We'll get to the best and the worst of 2025. I want your opinions. I've got some opinions. And Games Workshop have got some opinions on Warhammer community. They dropped a few things, but we're locked in. We're ready to do this. Stay hydrated. Got my electrolytes in the water and everything. First up, did you have a lovely Christmas? Are you all in? It's that weird period, isn't it? Between Christmas and the New Year where everyone's in a food coma, don't know what to do with themselves, apart from the few responsible people who still work. Like I worked over Christmas. I edited a video. I found myself sitting around with not a lot to do, and there was videos to edit, so I thought, why not? Why not just edit a video? And I'm going to have to show you guys this. The Battlefield noobs were out in force Christmas morning. Christmas evening was a different thing. Christmas evening, all the unks were back on, and I was struggling in the evening. But look at that. Where are we? 69, dude. 69 kills in one game of Conquest with carbines. I was camping around B&D objective on Mirak Valley. It was just locking down two of the objectives there. But 69, dude, in one match. It was amazing. I felt like a gaming god. And then I went on again about 10 o'clock in the evening on Christmas. And then all the unks were back on and I got pooned. But in the morning, when little Timmy was on after, I've only got Battlefield, best-selling game of 2025. And I felt like a gaming god for about an hour or two. So, yeah. My only subscription witness has kept me going through 25. Thank you. BMRG, Captain Chaos. That's good. Good. You guys have a good Christmas, though? What I want to ask at the start is, did you have a good Christmas? And, more importantly, because we're doing best and worst this evening, we're doing best and worst. What was the best Christmas gift you got? One thing. Out of all of the things, what's the best Christmas gift that you... It was all right, says the Eternal Crusade. It was all right. It was all right. You get to a certain age, right? It doesn't... Like me, I don't have kids. We don't go anywhere or do anything. It's like a day when the shops are shut. This is a year of all time. It was. I'll give you all the confusion now. Morning, yes, it is Wednesday. And Stuart Fields is in the chat from the other side of the world. It's New Year's Eve over there. New Year's Eve. He's in the land down under. Probably having a barbecue. Over here, the weather has come in, finally. Like, it's normally 10 degrees and raining in the UK. That's pretty much June, 10 degrees and raining. February, 10 degrees. It's normally 10 degrees and raining. But right now, we're getting into the noughties now. It's getting a bit cold out there, so it actually feels Christmassy. But yeah, what was the best Christmas present you got? Inquisitor got a blanket that he's currently wearing. You can't knock a blanket. A nice, comfy blanket. You know, when you're 50, like Inquisitor is, a nice, comfy blanket keeps the arthritis at bay. He's very, very old. Cerestus Knight Lancer. Nice. That is a nice Christmas gift. A proper big present there. A nice Lancer. Or memory foam. Fur-lined slippers. One of the two. That's a good... I mean, memory foam, fur-lined slippers, or a Knight Lancer. I'd have to say for me, because I've got a Night Lancer, I'd like the fur-lined memory foam slipper. They sound like good. My slippers need they're not squishy anymore. They've run out of squish. You need squish in the slippers. Christmas was weird, said Stuart Fields from the land down under. Of course it was weird, because you had barbecues and things. Glad it's gone. Too many stress friends who just needed time off. Well, at least you were there for them, to give them hugs. You know, big hugs. Best Christmas gift is my first ever painted salamander tactical marine in a Perspex case from my brother. How are you going to field it if it's in a Perspex case? You smash that case on the ground, get him out, and then... But, yeah. No, nice. First ever tactical marine. So, I mean, no, actually, if it's the first ever one you've got, keep it in there. Keep it in the case and put it on the shelf somewhere where she can see it too, or he, or whomever, on the shelf right up there. Pride of place. Best Prezi arrived this morning. New P-Work Wargames battle mat. I got one of them. P-Work Wargames are good, and that's from Stuart Fields. Ordering from Italy. Remember, Stuart's in the land down under. I might have mentioned that a few times already. So that battle mat cost him $1 million. Do they have dollars in New Zealand? Or is it shekels? I don't know. Got a replica John Madden Oakland Raiders coach jacket. Jackus Woods, now we're talking. Apart from the fact that you support the Raiders. Very happy with it. It's a replica one as well. And it's the Raiders. Brock Bowers is a legend, by the way. I like that rookie. He's doing very well. Go Bills, just in case Blood Buffalo comes into the chat or watches this later on. He'll get very upset if I don't mention Bills. And they're storming. He's, yes. Brock, yeah, they're doing very well. And Denver Broncos country, let's ride. My first ever miniature ever. I am 48 and have been into the books forever, but never collected a mini. Wow. So Christmas 2025, you got your first miniature ever. I doff my cap to you, sir. What is it? What is the first miniature ever? If it's an Eldar, get out. But if it isn't an Eldar, stay. Kiwis in New Zealand, isn't it? Kiwis, what? Kiwis, quids? They still, Kiwis kept to the quids, do they? I don't know whether the Kiwis keep to the quids. Do you keep to the quids? I thought it was shekels, pennies, acorns. It's Hobbitville. They probably trade in acorns in New Zealand. Probably. Nope, NZD over here, says Stuart Fields. No one knows what that means. NZD. First miniature, we all know that how. Yeah, the first miniature, we know how that goes. The first miniature, and then it's just a kill team. Just got a kill team, and before you know it, £1 million worth of shit. Trade in pipeweed. They trade in pipeweed. There you go. New Zealand, pipeweed is the local currency. Speaking of Eldar, can we talk leaks, or are we a good? We can talk leaks. I know as much as you know. What leaks do you want to talk about? I mean, Valrak is talking about Corsairs. There's leaks for Corsairs. I'm surprised it took them this long after Yvrain and Ynnari and all that sort of stuff. You'd think that when they propelled the narrative forward for the Eldar in 8th edition, which is like 3 years ago now, there'd have been some Eldar coming out shortly after that. But no! Taking them 6 years to get there. Now we're going to finally have some Corsairs. Talk leaks. The new Eldar Corsairs got me hyped. Yeah. Val who? I don't know. He's a yellow one. Coward runs away. Hi, Aru. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I don't know. It's, but the Eldar. It's the Craft World Eldar. Arrogant, stuck-up bastards. Them I don't like. Harlequins I quite like. And anyone who can paint a Harlequin, I total respect. Dark Eldar, probably the baddest faction in the whole of 40k, considering every single faction is bad, except for maybe Tyranids, because they're just a force of nature. They're a forest fire. They're a tsunami. They're a volcano erupting. They're just a force of nature. They're not really bad guys. Because, you know, you can't say that a tsunami is a bad guy. It's just a thing that happens to you. But Drukhari, unashamedly evil bastards. And I like that. And the Corsairs as well. No, it's just the Craft World ones, the stuck-up, pointy-eared bastards. We don't like them. Someone in the chat last week said they would like a new Huron. And Bing, yeah, I know. Someone in the chat last week was like, Huron. Let's go. Have you seen the new Huron Blackheart model? With the boots, with the fur, the whole club looking at her. The new Huron back global looks fire, yo. Looks fire. Low key, no cap. Riz it up. See that? See what I just did there? Low key, no cap. Poggers, PogChamp, Riz, 6'7", talking to the kids. I'm in touch with the kiddies. Good afternoon, Greg Shimmenin. The most evil thing about Drugari is trying to spell it with my glasses on. Yeah, I'm surprised that I haven't had to put my glasses on yet, to be honest. I'm reading this. Never say what again. No cap. Low key. Low key, what you talking about, bro? He's one tap. He looks good. I'm not getting him, but I'm happy. What? Yeah, the Huron. Huron looks very good. Huron is one of those models that you look at and you think, just a kill team. Just a kill team. Maybe I just get a kill team. I love the Huron model until I saw the Wallace from Wallace and Gromit's face put on it. It's pretty accurate. Yeah. 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 Who's the bad guy in the new Star Wars film? With the duck bill face. I saw that with like the Daffy Duck, duck bill face. I can't unsee it now. Every time I see like, it just, yeah. Even the meme economy is in shambles. Back in the day we used to joke about 69 thanks to Shrink 6'7", yo. 6'7", low key, no cap, bro. You gotta look. If there are any millennials watching this as a VOD or in the chat right now, I come in peace. We all come in peace, okay? The Unk Squad here, we come in peace. We're all humans. You know, they've started saying as well, like us lot, we're born in the 1900s. It's like when there's something about that is a bit raw, isn't it? 1900s. I saw a meme the other day of someone giving over their license and the person saying, no, I'm sorry, we can't serve you. We only serve 21. You can't have your bottle of wine. And he said, no, I'm 21. I was born in 2001. 2004. Math. Yes. Words are hard. Listen. They're children, right? Born after, they don't even know what the millennium bug was, and these guys now can drink and drive cars and holding down stable jobs, and it's just crazy. It's crazy how old we are. What the hell is 6'7"? Exactly, you are getting old, mate. You're getting old. No one knows what it means. Put a Huron back in Terminator armor. Was he in Terminator armor? Yeah, he was in Terminator armor, wasn't he? Hopefully that's armor he's got, which is beef. He's got a 2-up save, you know. Stop saying no cap and all that nonsense. You'll wake the teenager. Yo, low key. Riz up the teenagers, yo. No, you're not supposed. No, you don't. No, you don't riz them up. But yeah, bro. The people born in the 2000s missed some. I know the people born in the 2000s missed so much cool stuff. If you were born in the 2000s, you missed dial-up, and you're playing on your computer, and there's these little bits going backwards and forwards on your computer, and then someone picked up the phone and you were ruined. It's like, Mom, put the phone down. I'm killing some bitches. Without the bitches, but that's what you missed that. You missed the invention of the DVD player. A world-changing DVD player, because then beforehand the games came on like 6 discs, right? And then the Blu-ray and they came out and it was 1 disc again for about a year, and then it went back to 6 discs again. But that was a big moment, you know, big moment. Everyone has their cool words. Remember when everything was heavy? Or bodacious. Bodacious. Ali G's making a big comeback in the meme scene. He keeps popping up on my phone all over the place. Ali G, man. He stopped kids talking like, in it, bruv. He stopped all the little kids on the street. In it, bruv. Yo, you know, all that. It stopped that dead in its tracks. That was taking off. Ali G was taking the piss out of it. And then all the kids stopped saying that shit for a while. But then now Ali G isn't a thing. Now the kids speak like that again. Well, some of them do. And then now he's coming back. He's making a comeback. Don't say it's a comeback. I've been here for years. Mini deck player for the win. You remember when you first got a VHS player? Dude, the VHS Betamax thing, you could actually record stuff on TV. People would swap movies, VHS movies, with each other that they'd recorded and things. Or there'd be some like pirated copy of Empire Strikes Back, really grainy with the adverts in it. And you'd watch, oh man. Because before the VHS or Betamax, all you had was what they gave you. They just gave you. And like, do you remember Sunday afternoons on the TV? There was 4 channels on the TV. Sorry, if you're in the colonies, you probably had 28. I don't know. But there was a time when I was growing up, when I was a lad, there was a time when I was growing up where they hadn't invented fire. And when I was in school, there was no history class. And also, there was a time when I grew up where there was 4 channels on TV. They would turn off at midnight, but Sunday afternoon was the worst one. Because Sunday afternoon, it was sport on 3 of the channels and songs of praise on 1 of them. There was nothing to watch. Nothing, literally. We're not watching songs of praise. I'm not 70 years old. There was no Transformers, no Defenders of the Galaxy. There was none of that on. And you had to go outside and run around. Look, when we were, these days, kids these days, they have to put adverts on TV when we were growing up to remind parents that they had kids. These days, helicopter parenting, it's not just helicopter parenting, it's F-22 Fire Raptor parenting, okay? It's A-10 Warthog parenting, scorched motherfucking earth parenting when it comes to parenting. But back when I was growing up, they had to put adverts on TV reminding parents that they had kids. It's 10 o'clock at night. Do you know where your child is? No. Normally we were under the slides drinking K cider. But yeah, they won't know. They won't know the good old days. Dats and Dares has been a member for 14 months. Hi, Unc. Happy New Year, peeps. Happy New Year to you. And thank you for your 14 months. It's a long time. I very much appreciate you. Channel 4 was a big thing when it came out. Exactly. We had 3 channels. Then Channel 4 popped off. And you had the Big Breakfast. Do you remember the Big Breakfast back in the day before it turned shit? That was lovely. That was good. Channel 4 was kind of radical, kind of edgy. And we look at it now going, that was big. Hi, if you enjoyed this nostalgia talk, you are an Unk. We're all Unks here. I've seen the age rate of the people who watch this shit. There's none of you are under 70. Got a G.I. Joe aircraft carrier in 1985. Dude, G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. In this country we had Action Man. Same thing. With the big plastic pants. My first TV was black and white. Do you remember? I do remember black and white TVs, but do you remember before remote controls? Like your dad used to make you get up to change the channel. So we changed the channel. And you were like basically the channel. You were the remote control. Need to change the channel. Get up, change it over. I'm not getting up and changing it over. Slipper. I'm getting up and changing it over. You know what I mean? It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children... It was a thing. Yeah. Even the F-22. I know the F-22 is over 30 years old. It was in the first days. Yeah. And now, it's the F-35 Lightning now, is it? Well, the F-35, the Americans call it, but we're the Lightning there. But it's good. It's big, yeah. You spent most of your childhoods in the woods. So did I, falling out of trees. Broke this arm straight across. Bang. Fell out of it. I was trying to break a branch. Okay, so story. A story for you guys. We'll share broken bone stories, seeing as we're doing the nostalgia trip, right? If any of you guys have broken any bones, I want to hear the stories because they're normally hilarious. I'll start with mine. I was 10 years old. We kicked a ball over this fence and we couldn't get it. And we weren't allowed to go and knock on the door because the ball always went over the fence into this garden. And the people, they would go nuts. Because everyone was knocking on their doors like 78 times a day. They were like, no, this is our ball now. Screw you. you'd learn. So, most of the time the balls didn't go there anymore, but this ball went over the fence. So we needed, and it was close to the fence. So we needed a stick to reach over to hook the ball back. So I climbed this tree, found the suitably long branch, right? I'll wrap my legs round. We'll do this 1 minute. This is action pose. I'll wrap my legs around the trunk, right? So I've got my legs. Imagine the microphone is the trunk, right? The microphone's the trunk. So I've wrapped, 1 minute. Hang on. I did it. I wrap my legs around the trunk like that, around the microphone, and decide to pull on the branch to get the branch off the tree. Can anyone see what may have been a tactical error when trying to... Yeah, it meant that the branch broke and the legs, and then I went down. I distinctly remember as I was plummeting through the air towards certain impending doom that this was it. I was going to die. I was going to break my back in very many places because I was going straight back. It was very cartoonish, straight back. And like the life flash, I was like, gee, I distinctly remember that's a broken back. I need to put my arms down to protect my back. So I put my arms down to protect my back. And then this one did protect my back, but bam, smacked it straight in half, both bones, all the pain. And this isn't the end of the story. I'm sorry to say that the day before I'd been down the local bowling alley. I say bowling alley. It was a dirty, dirty place with 4 lanes with my older sister. She was 12, I was 11. It was the daytime and you could go in there for like 50p or something. And the day before, I had decided to drop a bowling ball on my sister's foot. It's not the first time I dropped anything on my sister's foot, but I dropped the bowling ball on my sister's foot. She was in so much pain, we had to go to the hospital. We spent hours in the hospital waiting for someone to see her foot, because not a life thing, injury, and her foot had swollen up, like clearly all the bones in it were crushed to oblivion. It looked like, I don't know, it looked like a hobbit foot. Stuart Fields will know what I'm talking about. A big hobbit's foot. And we spent like 6 hours in there, and they x-rayed it, no broken bones. No broken bones. So the next day when I came plummeting 1,000 feet, it wasn't 1,000, it was about 20 feet out of a tree. It was a long way. And my arm went bam. All the muscles in it, it kept it straight. It kept it straight. I was like, and it's swollen up. And they were like, we're not going to the hospital again. Clearly it's straight. Can you move your fingers? Yeah. Can you pick up a mug? Yeah. It's not broken. You'll be fine. You just bruised it. It'll be fine. If it's still in pain in the morning, we'll go to the hospital then. They didn't take me to the hospital. And I stayed in bed all night with my arm over the side of the bed and a bucket of cold water to stop it swelling so much. My pain was excruciating, kept waking up in tears, until eventually I couldn't take it anymore. And it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, like, it still bloody hurts. Don't say bloody. We're going to the hospital, please, Mum. And then we took him, then I got taken to the hospital, and then they found out it like chattered, and they felt really bad about themselves for a while. And you know what? I didn't feel bad about them feeling bad because I've been in pain for the last 12 hours. It really bloody hurt. Smacked bones, falling from a tree, trying to rescue a ball. Epilogue, we never got the ball back. Broken bone. That's the first proper broken bone I had. I shouldn't throw a bowling ball at my sister's foot. But, you know, I'm a brother. She's an older sister. She deserved it, probably. Broken bone stories. My broken bone story is actually a Warhammer adjacent. Oh, look at you crossing the streams. Don't do this on Ghostbusters. Death in the Snow. I was with my mate and we would just finish up a game and picking up. This was back during third, so there was plenty of metal models. Anyway, you drop one, a metal model. My Chaos Dreadnought. That could hurt someone. And I lunged to catch it. I sat back in my chair and the foot of the leg broke. A big toe on my mate's foot as it went down. Yeah. So it wasn't even your bone. It was your mate's broken bone, which is fine. And it's 40k related. I appreciate that story. Was absolutely scared of the guy who came to change our cable box as a little kid, tripped on the door frame and fell out onto the pavement and broke my arm, says ACD, not C. Should be ACDC, but JQ8YG, but I like the ACD part. Scared of the cable guy. A cable guy. I would be scared of him too. Did you fall on your head? No, I didn't fall on my head. I fell on my back, broke my arm, okay? When I fell from the tree, there was no head injury, but the head could have gone back quite hard. Could have done that. Nosh Ferratu, 1988. We're going back in time now. See, I told you everyone's unks. Broken wrist, skateboarding in town. I begged the hospital not to tell my mum as it was Mother's Day and she told me not to go skating in town. She didn't mind though, good old mum. Dude, skating injuries. Yeah, completely safe. Not allowed to do that these days, I think. Stuart Fields did what I thought was a sick jump on my bike ride riding home from school. I bet it was a sick jump. I bet it was. With my son, front tyre burst. A sick jump. Front tyre burst. Met concrete. Destroyed my collarbone. Laid on the pavement for an hour waiting for an ambulance. It was a sunny day as well and I got sunburnt laying there. Oh man, that's hilarious. What a sick jump. Jess Craig, member for 33 months. Thank you for being a member for 33 months, Jess Craig. You a legend, you. Good evening, winners. Just quickly nipped in to say thank you for continuous great content. Have a great new year. See you back in 20. Yes, Jess Craig. Love you, bro. See you next year. Lordo Fepurius broke his arm on the first day of kindergarten. Red Richmond broke both my pinky toes. Pinky toes. Kicking a dog toy down the hall and hit the corner of a wall full on directly in the toe. Once for each foot. He kicked once. Ow. Kicked again. Ow. And it's his pinky toes. Oh, it's brilliant. What a story. Lord Fepurus fell off the monkey bars. Yeah, that would do it. I think monkey bars are banned now. Like we said, A10 parenting is going on here. Helicopter parenting going on. I think they're banned everywhere. They're probably illegal in 78 countries now. But yeah, broken bones, falling off the monkey bars. Nice. I'm not even sure. I can't recall seeing them in this town in the last 10 years. The Broken Baker. This should be good. With a name like the Broken Baker. Let's strap in for this one. I was an R&R after 3 months in Bosnia. And I got punched in the face and had my nose broken on the first night out of the war zone. Had it fixed 3 times because it healed wrong. Survive a war zone. Couldn't survive in England. Couldn't survive an evening in New York. And must have been Swindon. Teo, I've fallen out of a few trees. Best was jumping out of the bedroom window and breaking my ankle. Nice. You've got to have Just Craig on for more battle reports. He's one of my favourites. He's one of my favourites too, which is why he keeps getting invited back. He's been on. We did one recently. There was a Just Craig Heresy one recently. Definitely. Wasn't there? There was. I'm sure there was. He was here the 5th of December, so that one came out already. We had one. When's Just Craig coming back? He's next back on the 30th of January. He normally comes like once a month. He's a regular. It's as regular as diarrhea, you know. He's here all the time, shitting on me. So yeah, Just Craig and he's a nice guy, you know. He's a nice guy. I know the rumours are that he's actually a vampire that skins puppies in his spare time, but I know nothing of the vampirism, but I have seen him skin a few puppies. Member, 1 year, the Eternal Crusader, broke 2 of my toes punting a tree stump while playing paintball. Well, you're playing paintball, so that's fun. Punting a tree stump. That reminds me of the Aragon story, Viggo Morgenstein. You know, when he kicks the helmet when they lose in the Two Towers. He kicks the helmet, goes, ah! And that's because he breaks his foot, apparently, or toes. Or he breaks some part. You know the story. Everyone knows the story. That's why it was like take 3. And that's why it was so visceral that, because he broke bones in his foot and he chipped his teeth. You've all seen behind the scenes of Lord of the Rings, the greatest trilogy of all time. You all know what I'm talking about. You don't need me. Sorry, I'm preaching to the choir here, yo. Preaching to the choir. Thank you for sharing your broken bone stories with me. I'll drink to that. That was good. That was good. That was funny. Oh dear. PogChamp, low key. And then they had to do the running. Yeah, then they have to do the running seals. You know the great run with the dwarf, the elf, and the Numenorian running across the plains of Rohan with the helicopter panning over. On the behind the scenes stuff they were saying, it was really funny actually because what is it? I forgot his name. The dude, the elf guy, the name of the elf guy, actor, Thingy Bob. Anyway, he had a serious flu or something. The body double who played for Gimli, he had like diarrhea. Viggo Mortensen had a strapped up foot. So they're doing the epic chase across the plains of Rohan. And Orlando Bloom, thank you. And all 3 of them were dying. Brilliant. Brilliant. Viggo's journey in Lord of the Rings is he's good. He's good. Yeah, Lord of the Rings and Lord of the Rings Extended Edition. See, I have many things in common with Henry Cavill, as well as being a world famous entertainer, devilishly good looking and irresistible to women. We both think Lord of the Rings is the greatest trilogy of all time. Extended Edition only. I've seen it so many times. When you think about best movies, it's always hard to rank what movies you've seen are the best movies, but those movies I have seen the most by a long way, so they must be the best. Viggo Mortensen, that's what I said. Met Viggo once in a bookstore. Oh my god, I would have geeked out in Wellington before Return of the King. Dude, I would have like, you've heard my Phil Kelly story where I could barely speak and just said thank you about 28 times when I met Phil Kelly. Thank you. I was just stun-locked. Such a nice guy. Had to do a double take when I saw him next to me. Dude, you had a replica One Ring, Andrew Williams? What do you mean you had a replica One Ring? Had. That is past tense. Past tense, replica One Ring. He threw it into Mount Doom, clearly. He chucked it. He shouldn't have chucked it, mind you, otherwise it would have corrupted you. Even the replica. The power of Sauron would not be thingy-bobbed. Are you okay down there? I think he just sighed. I think he's okay down there. Yes, he did. Look, he threw it into Mount Doom. Anyway, guys, that was good. Thank you. That was nice. That was good. So I'm glad you had a happy Christmas. No one really shared any best gifts with me. I think we got 1 or 2 best gifts. So being unks, I guess most of our gifts were pretty shit. I got a really good gift. I'll show you my best gift. Warhammer Store and Cafe, Tokyo. There's only about 4 Warhammer stores with store and cafes in the world. I got this one from Tokyo. Not Tazanara came all the way over to Japan, from Japan. Brought that with him. Played a game of 40k with me. We played some Squid Game. It's going to be up on the channel soon. I think it's coming out on this Friday, next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I release videos on Sundays. Why is that Friday? It'll be out on a Sunday. He brought me a gift. And yeah, that is rare AF. No cap, Riz, Skibbity in the UK. So that is a gift. That is a gift. Did you know that Sean Bean refused to get in a helicopter for some shoots? Yeah. He used to hike all the way up. Yeah. And he lost so much weight. Yeah. He doesn't like the helicopter. Wow. I know. Yeah. The cup is, I know. You got some socks. Craven got some socks. I didn't even get a set of Lynx Africa. Is it really Christmas if you don't get a set of Lynx Africa? Again, the colonies won't know what we're talking about, but best gift was my nephew not saying thank you for his gifts. For the 6th year in a row, now I'm refusing to buy the little shit anything else. Yeah, dude, if he's not saying thank you for his gifts, screw that guy. It's a learning opportunity. It's a learning opportunity, okay? A learning opportunity. No more gifts. You say please and thank you, particularly if you're a little shit. Yeah? Rip Lynx Africa. Dude, if you don't get a Lynx Africa or drink some Baileys or have some kind of indigestion on the 26th, did Christmas really happen? I mean, I ate so much chicken because we didn't do turkeys. It's buttered. I had so much. And then I had all of it the day after. Oh, I was in a chicken coma for about 2 days. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic. I very much enjoyed myself. No Old Spice either. No Lynx Africa. In the colonies, they know what Old Spice is, but I'm not sure the colonies know what Lynx Africa is. But let's just say it's like Old Spice, but more traditional. My kiddos' nephews are getting to the ages where I'm more interested in the cool shit they got. Dude, yeah. Like, my nephews on Cat's side, one of them's 14, one of them's 12. So they're like playing proper video games now. And they're proper stuff. So we're having, like back when it was, I don't know, whatever kids, the small, apart from Lego was good when they were growing up. But they're now at a stage where I'm like, I'm playing with their stuff too. Chicken korma. Why are we talking about chicken korma? I made about 50 pigs in blankets. Ate all of them in 4 days. Pigs in blankets are nice. Very nice. Yeah. Just chilling with a coffee and painting my Space Wolves. Well done. Well done. Why are we talking about chicken korma, Andrew Williams? Chicken korma, chicken coma. I prefer, yeah. I see what you did there. Because a chicken coma. I see. That was funny. That's what you're having tomorrow. Okay. Chicken korma. Thanks. Today, I mean, what did you have today? Did you have any nice today? I had rump steak with roast potatoes and peas. And she's like, are you sure you want roast potatoes with the peas? And I've been on, since Christmas, I've been on a bit of a roast potato kick. I don't get roast potatoes much. Because, I mean, she doesn't do many roasts. But roast potatoes, peas, gravy, steak. That's why it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. I only polished it off about half hour ago. It's still making its way downtown. Walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. You know what I mean? My wife loves Space Wolves. Only downside is she's a furry. Nice. Also, homemade Yorkies. Stuffing balls wrapped in bacon. Roast potatoes. You said balls. Family got annoyed with me as I'm being healthy and barely ate on the day. Dude, Christmas is the day you're allowed to stuff your face. In fact, I would argue that Christmas is the day when it is legally obligated for you to stuff your goddamn face. I mean, you know, if you're being healthy and ate barely on look, even The Rock has a cheat day once a month. He talks about it. He goes out with his kids. You've seen The Rock with his little girls putting makeup on him and stuff like that, or going out and eating 6 burgers with them. And even The Rock has a cheat day once a month. You might be being healthy, but Christmas Day is the day to chuck another shrimp on the barbie in the land down under and have your 6th shrimp or whatever. You don't eat healthy on Christmas, dude. Even did a workout. You did a workout on Christmas. Aiming to be alive and healthy at the impending 50 rather than the alternative. You'll be alive and healthy at the age of 50, even if you have stuff on... No, let's rephrase that. You'll be alive, you won't be healthy at the age of 50. Let's just face it. Talking from a man who has passed that milestone a number of years ago. It's, like kids, they bounce, they get back up again. They have the flu or a cold, 2 days, they're dead, and then they're back up and you, it lasts like 6 years. They have a bruise, the bruise is gone the next day. You have a bruise, a month later, you're 50, mate. It's all falling apart. Just don't worry. Just have a cheat. Look, food. Putting things in your mouth is one of those universal delights that we can all share in. I really struggle to maintain habits. You can struggle. Look, we all struggle to maintain habits. But food. On Christmas Day. Where's the Christmas spirit? Ho, ho, ho. Andy H, pardon me, has been a member for 37 months. Healthy schmelthy, eat more cake. Exactly, Andy H. Thank you for your 37 months, and he knows what I'm talking about. Cake? Let them eat cake. I don't have cheat days, I have loyalty days. Nice. Have you been keeping up with the speed of Dawn of War development? Thoughts on the 4 facts, chosen factions, Space Marines, Orcs, Necrons, and Admechs? Nosferatu's actually asking a 40k question. Thank you, Nosferatu. Have I been keeping up with the speed of the Dawn of War 4 developments? No. Thoughts on the chosen faction, Space Marines, Orcs, Necrons, and Admech? Yeah, good. I think it could have been Space Marines and Guard, but Space Marines and Admech. So those are your 2 loyalist sides. And I guess Space Guard is guard, but Admech is very 40k. You know what I mean? So there'll be people getting introduced to 40k fiction through Dawn of War 4. There will be. There just will be. Many people got introduced through 240k fiction through Space Marine 2 or Dawn of War 1 or 2, not 3. Dawn of War 3 doesn't exist. So Admech is about as 40k as it gets. You know, religious fundamentalist cyborgs in space. That's about 40k as it gets. So I'm down with the Admech. I'm down with the Space Marines. It's got to have Space Marines in for the noobs, you know. And then Orcs, great. Necrons, great. Yeah, I like that. 4 starting factories, great. Great. And you know that the other ones will be coming out in DLCs and things like that. I'm quite concerned about Dawn of War 4 now. It can't be as bad as Dawn of War 3, can it? I mean, that came and went in about 2 weeks. Evening Wolf Boot. Nosferatu. I got some heresy stuff. Not sure which army to go with. Probably not Raven Guard, but otherwise open. So that's Christmas. Okay, so... Well, if you're starting heresy and you're not sure what to go with, if you don't feel the narrative pull of one particular army because of Loken or Sigismund or Garrow or No Fear, if you don't feel the narrative pull of one, then go with the one that's easiest to paint. Because you're going to get a lot of infantry. Unlike 40k, it will have like 40 tactical marines, a lot of guys on foot, so go with the one. But there must be something, narratively speaking, or a heresy hero that really sings to you, right? There must be, surely, maybe. Or maybe there's too many. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's like 5 of them of 5 different things, you know? Maybe that's what it is, Minkster. But if there's too many or not one that actually pulls to you, then go with one that's really easy to paint, which is going to be, you know, Iron Warriors, Iron Hands, because that's silver black. That's easy to do. Iron Warriors easy to do because it's silver. Those 2 are probably the easiest ones to paint, minus the hazard stripes. I mean, yeah. Are you looking forward to the 11th? Yes. I am, which is it's because that's an interesting question, because like when Heresy 2 changed to Heresy 3, I wasn't looking forward to it, and most of the community wasn't. We didn't want another Heresy. We could have been quite happy waiting for another year or 2 before Heresy came around. When they announced Heresy 3.0, I was like, oh no. 1, it's too early, and 2, they're going to screw it up. Here we go. None of the community was looking forward to it. 10th edition to 11th edition, everyone's like, yep, my codex was out of date on the day they released it. There's been so many upgrades and so many changes to the data sheets and so many balance updates. Like, Admech, for me, is virtually unplayable because it's been corrected so many times, and you don't need a PhD to play it. Unlike 9th edition where you did, you need an A level, and I'm just not that bright. I'm not bright enough to play AdMech. I'm just not. I'm not. It confuses me every time I read it and then read the thing. I'm not. So 11th edition, a nice reset would be lovely. Also, right at the start of 10th edition, I remember making a video saying 10th is here, here's my review, this is really good, and we've got these missions. And I'm really looking forward to the narrative missions they release in this edition. I'm really looking forward to seeing an open war deck or a Maelstrom of the War deck or some narrative campaign coming out in 10th edition. So we have the competitive side and we have some narrative casual side as well. I was looking, there's definitely room for both in Warhammer 40k. And we got all the way through 10th edition and no narrative shizzle from a drizzle, yo. It's all low key, no cap. Where was the narrative? Where? So I'm hoping in 11th we get some casual, open. Now I hope we get some of that and some competitive. There's room for both. There's room for both. And you don't need to change the core rules. The core rules are fairly sound. I think 10th edition core rule set is a pretty solid rule set. Considering I've played Squid Game and Murder Bowl and all the other ones. It's a pretty... who was chatting to the other day? I forget who I was chatting to the other day. But the core, the foundation to this edition, the core rules, it's pretty good. The train rules, pretty good. Lone Op, the USR's coming back. It's pretty understandable. The core strats, pretty understandable. It's the foundation is it's a good solid foundation. It is. It just needs some of the codexes. Let's face it, are misses. Many of them are hits, but some of them are misses. Some of them are a bit mid as well. So the codexes could do with a bit more. Something. This edition, we had more misses than previous editions. There was a bit more shit codexes. There were more shit codexes in this edition than many of the other editions. Not all of them, but some of them. There was normally you get one or two, but in this one we're like 5 or 6. I really need to do an SDC with Warsmith Chris talking about the hits, misses, and mids of the codexes, seeing as we've got them all now, because I've got a few things to say. And I need to get it off my chest. I need to get it out there. So yeah, the thing that this edition missed was the codex. I mean, if the codexes were all hits, then why did they change these Stealer Cults from the ground up pretty much after launch, or the AdMech from the ground up pretty much after launch? And the Tyranid Codex now is all over the place. You know, they've made a lot of changes. The balanced data slate for the codexes is 29 pages long now. Tells you all you need to know. So we need less of that sort of thing, and we need more variety in the mission spam. You get that right, 11th edition will be solid. What do you guys think? 11th edition can't come quick enough. Looking forward to 11th. Seems like Games Workshop have been doing worse with each new rule set. You reckon worse with each new rule set? Why do you think this core rule set? Do you mean codex rule set or core rule set? Because the core rule set, I think, is sound. I think the underlying game is sound. It's the faction rule set. What do you mean each new rule set? Don't need to change the rules, just give us flavour. Exactly. Like many of the detachments are so model specific. In some of the codexes, you've got the generic detachment, right? Virulent Vectorum, or Tactical Devastator Assault Doctrine, that one. You've got one generic detachment, and then in the good codexes, I would argue, they have more than one generic detachment, and the locked-in detachments, which say you need to take these things or these things, still have some wiggle room on either side. So you've got a couple of generic and a bit of wiggle room in the locked-in ones. And then the codexes that I think are not as strong are the ones where the locked-in, where the generic one is not good, and there's only one. And then the other ones that are all over the place that you need to bring these or you need to bring these are so locked in that if you don't have all the Crusher Stampede, then what you know what I mean? If you don't have, like, the Tyranids book is a good example of this. Their generic one is pretty good, but it's sustain versus infantry, and lethal versus vehicles, or the precision, which no one does. That one's, it's good enough, and there's a 5 field. That one's good enough. But the locked in ones are so locked in that unless you pretty much field all of the Vanguard models, there's really no point in doing the Vanguard detachment. You could field a list with half of the Vanguard models in it, but it doesn't kind of work. You can field the Crusher Stampede with kind of half of the big beasties in it, but it kind of doesn't work. Whereas in some of the other locked in detachments, you don't have to field all the Phobos models for the Raven Guardy one in Space Marines for it to still feel Raven Guardy. The minus to hit over a certain distance away and cover. You can still have other things mixed in there with it, and it still functions in the same way. So more choice. I'm looking for choice. I'd like some choice. Favorite edition was 40k. Was second edition, no contest. Second edition. Everyone's got a favorite edition. Second was wild. It was the Wild West. Core rules. Yeah, okay. So the core rules, yeah, we're agreeing. TW is doing worse with each new rule set. And you think the core rules are worse. Okay. I think the 8th edition was, favorite editions for me, probably 5th edition and 8th edition were probably my favorite rule sets for 40k. So yeah, I don't think the core rules for 9th and 10th are better than 8th. Because I think 8th was really accessible. And it got a lot of people back in the hobby because it was very, very accessible. It was strong. It was easy. The competitive rates were very well matched. Yeah. But you could have minuses to hit, so you couldn't actually shoot something fly. You could be 7s to hit the thing, so I can't actually hit it because the minus is on top. I don't think the plus or more minus to hit, though. That could be wider. I've got no problem having a -2 to hit. But 6s always hit. 1s always miss. If that was written into the main core rules of 8th would have been better. But there are many editions where, like, orcs couldn't actually shoot at all. Not that orcs can shoot much anyway, but you could completely shut down orc shooting and build lists really easily that were -2 to hit, so orcs couldn't hit anything at any point, at any time. So, but yeah, 6s should always hit, 1 should always miss. That's the thing. My brother and I have been casually playing one-page rules. Nice. I think they tried to make the game easier, but do this, cut out all the fun. Yeah. The one and only Hobo has been a member for 36 months. Thank you for being a member for 36 months. You one and only Hobo, you absolute legend, you. 3 years of fun, seasons, greetings, everyone. Thank you, the one and only Hobo. 10th has gotten rid of war gear, leadership, mostly useless reroll, still rampant. Their stratagems I ever used. Right, so war gear, so you're saying core rules. The war gear that it's got rid of, that's a codex thing. Leadership is mostly useless, I'll grant you that. They haven't known what to do with leadership. In 8th, they didn't know what to do with it. In 9th and 10th, they didn't know what to do with it. The leadership thing, that's a whole STC in itself, like how to fix leadership. Leadership, if you fail your leadership, you should be falling back. I know it copies from Heresy, but there's other things that can happen in Heresy when you fail leadership. You can get pinned, you can have stasises on you, you can be stunned, suppressed. There's all sorts of things that can happen with you. I just think in 40k that if you fail your leadership test, don't worry about the 0 CP or no, get rid of all of that. But if you fail your leadership test, that unit is forced to fall back away from the enemy. That would be glorious. That means there's actually things happening. It actually forces an interaction. I think that would be really cool. It would feel quite war gamey. Fail a leadership test, you're forced to move. And then in many cases that will force you to move off an objective, which means that the opponent that got you off the objective means can score that objective because you've fallen off the objective. I think there could be something more interactive with leadership rather than, okay, my OC is now 0 and I can't spend any strats, but that's fine because I wasn't going to spend any strats on them anyway. And then when it comes around to my turn, either I'm going to pass my leadership test or I'll just spend insane bravery on them anyway. So they pass their leadership test. So that whole thing of making them full battle shock and fail their lead, it didn't do anything anyway. It doesn't do anything. So there wasn't an interaction there anyway. But leadership could be a bit more interactive. But they haven't known what to do with it since they changed it from the 7th ed rules, which was the 2nd ed rules, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all had a very similar or the same-ish leadership thing. Since they got rid of that, they haven't really known what to do with leadership. To my mind, an interaction there would be, and then Night Lords would be good again. And then actually scaring someone, actually making them, we're not saying that the transhumans are scared in a sense, but we're saying that they're reacting to this overwhelming pressure that's coming back on there. Yeah, so that was the thing. Eldar flyers in 8th were fields bad. Yeah, no war gear points, and no, this is in this edition, no war gear points. That's a codex thing, not a core rules thing. So leadership needs a sliding scale to it. So it's not always just a 6 or a 7. Additional game effects can worsen your leadership and make you more prone to fail. Bolt action works well with that. I mean, one of the things they could do if people don't like the fallback option, say you fail your leadership. Instead, what they could do is put a token next to them. They've failed their leadership. They have -1 to hit. You could do that if you don't want them falling back. And that could stack and that could be cumulative. Maybe it's the only cumulative. You could do that with it. You could say if they fail their leadership, they could worsen their armor save, for example. Worsen, that unit has failed their leadership, so worsen all saving throws, including invulnerable saves. That unit's failed their leadership, so worsen all saves from that unit by 1. They're a bit more prone to taking damage. So something a bit more interactive. What I'm saying is the leadership thing right now cannot be interactive. I don't know if any of you guys saw the Wednesday one with the Night Lords. But the new Night Lords detachment, they went up against the 13th. Their detachment is all about battle shocks and causing fear. And in units that are battle shocked or feared or means the Night Lords get bonuses when they attack those units. And it barely ever kicked in. Because either I was passing or the ones that I failed were so rare, and the ones that I failed which were rare that were getting attacked weren't getting attacked because it's like, oh, I don't want to attack them. I need to go that way anyway. So it was... Have you noticed that all the detachments that they build around leadership modifiers don't seem to be... No one takes them. They don't seem to be very good, is what I'm saying. It's just not... There is a mechanic there that could be improved. Service Goal, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. You absolute legend. You come in here every week, gifting memberships, basically keeping the channel afloat on its own. I love you. Thank you so much. Can we get some GGs in the chat to Servo Skull? In fact, thank you to all the members, every single member out there. I really very much appreciate you for helping feed me and my very fat pussy and keeping the lights on and keeping this dream going of just hanging out and doing hobby full time. How we ever got here, I have no idea, but we are here. I get to do this full time because of you guys. You are legend. You complete me. Name that movie. No spoilers. -1 to hit doesn't really matter since rerolls are rampant. That's a good point. Yeah. Rerolls are everywhere. This is the edition with less rerolls. No, it's not. This is the edition with the most re-rolls in the history of re-rolls ever. -1 save would be worth. But just fall back. Like, if a unit fails its leadership test, it must move its maximum distance as far away from enemy units as possible. If there are equal things, as far away from enemy units as possible. So sometimes they might go forward, sometimes they might go back, sometimes they might go left, sometimes they might go right. And then that would also bring in some tactical decisions, particularly if you're playing Night Lord's armies or units that have fear, units that increase or decrease, the leadership modifiers. When this unit is within 12 of them, they have a -1 to their leadership test. There's many synapse things. There's many Night Lordsy stuff. There's many Chaosy stuff that does that. Many Drukhari stuff that does that. Grizzly trophies. And then it'll bring on a tactical element. Like, right, I'll move this unit round here and shoot them and try and make them fail a leadership test. Or whatever the mechanic is to make them take a leadership test. Because then they have to move the furthest away from all enemy units. Which means that they'll end up going over there. Or down, you could push them in, you could herd them in certain directions into traps and things, into crossfires and things, and it would happen instantaneously as well. I think that I mean, if I was writing the Games Workshop rules, that's what I'd have. I'd have some kind of interaction with the leadership state. I need to play test it, need to check it out, but I think making the opponent move isn't a bad thing. The Night Lords guy had some awful rolls. I know, right? That Night Lords 13th one was the funniest game of 40 play. The one that came out on Wednesday. Honestly, it was the funniest game of 40k I've played in a while. Dude, I mean, in the end, I had to keep cut. It was hard to edit because we were all laughing our asses off because Elliot was there and his two mates were there. His cheerleaders in the corner, and he was just, his dice rolls were, on the occasions where he needed them to hit, they were abysmal. Some of them were good, but on all the moments where it counted, they were abysmal. We were laughing our asses off, so it was hard to edit that. And in the end, on the video, there's just moments where I gave up. Just the laughter came through, man. It was brutal. I know it was brutal, Servo Skull. It was absolutely brutal, but it was funny. We actually was talking about, like, thanks for coming all the way down. Thanks for doing this battle with me. But do I actually put this one up on YouTube because it was so brutal? And in the end, it was like, well, one, you came all the way down, so I kind of have to put it up there. But two, it was just funny. You got to, and that's the thing about 40k. You're only going to win half of your games, maybe less, or none if you play Emperor's Children. You got to laugh at the bad moments as well as the good moments. You've got to celebrate your opponent's successes as well as laugh at your own failures and defeats and things. It's a dice rolling game. And also, if you don't find the game fun or funny, what are you doing? What are you playing? On the plus side, his army was absolutely majestic. Dude, his army was gorgeous. All the conversions, all the things. It was lovely. It was good. It was good. I liked it. Yeah, failed leadership should mean the unit can't do anything for a turn. That would hurt. Failed leadership would mean the unit can't do anything for a turn. That would be brutal. That would be very brutal. Maybe let's meet in the middle. Failed leadership would mean that the unit can do its things, but it's always snap firing, hitting on sixes when it shoots or attacks or something. So you could still get some sustains, you could still get some lethals out, and there'd still be a bunch of re-rolls because 40k. But instead of not doing anything at all, you could hit on sixes. Whether you're an orc or a custody or something, you're just firing. You're doing what you need to do. Not that custodies fail their leadership, because their leadership like 5. Only game I played in 25 I lost. No. You've never played 40k unless you've been bored sweat. Yeah, you've never, I mean, unless you've been tabled. You've got to laugh at the tabling even when it happens to you. Emperor's Children in general needs more everything. I know it's a half-finished codex. You know, like we're saying this about the World Eaters in 9th edition. The World Eaters codex came out and people were like, where's the rest of it? Where are the rest of my World Eaters? And then in this edition, the rest of the World Eaters came out. They now have Predators, they now have Land Raiders, they now have Defilers, they now have all the things that should have been in it the first time round. Is in it this time round. Now the World Eaters Codex is actually a good codex. And there's quite a few good lists in there, by the way. There's quite a few good detachments in there. The Rhino Rush one is really nice. Their standard one, where they've got plus strength charging in, is really nice. They've got some good detachments in there, some good generic ones in there. Now the Emperor's Children Codex is like, where's the rest of my codex? And you know they do it on purpose. They're like, here's half a codex, because we know all you guys will buy all of that stuff, because it's all the new stuff. Here's all the new stuff. In this codex, you're going to buy it, and demons too, because that's what they've done. And then the next one round, they'll put all the bits in that they're, yeah. And then you buy all those bits too. They know what they're doing. They know what you do. By the time this edition is over, I'm going to have everything except Helldrakes from the Emperor's Children in my Emperor's Children list. Because, you know, Helldrakes. So good in Space Marine 2. So bad in this game. Stuart Fields is tempted to try some tournaments in 26. Good luck with that. Let us know how you get on. The worst feeling is tabling your opponent. I'd rather get tabled. I agree, actually. Definitely not a gator. I feel quite bad when I bring... If I've got a really strong list and I'm playing someone without a really strong list, that immediately feels bad, because you can tell by looking at them if you play enough games. And also you can tell as soon as you get going. And yeah, it does feel bad. It's one of the reasons why I don't want 3-winged demon princes for my Empress. I would feel bad running 3-winged demon. I don't want to do that. I'd rather bring a nice rounded list and have fun and enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the I feel like I'm on a journey with the Echoes of Ecstasy. We're on this long journey into full demonhood, because the only way I'm going to win is with some demons. I got tabled my first game. Lucius got slaughtered by a Judicia. Dude, that's not good. The rule is your friend should have let you win that game, or tried very hard to help you win that game and tell you what. That's what you do. If I'm playing someone who's new to Heresy, new to 40k, I'm telling them all the things all the time. I'm telling them what I'm doing all the time. I'm teaching, training exercise, and I'm trying to help them win. Definitely don't table someone in the first turn, in the first game. That's bad juju. I feel really bad running Knights in 10th, as every game is over on turn 2. They're brutal. Knights always have won big or lost big in every edition, because if your opponent has the things to deal with Knights, then you're going to lose your Knights, and once you've lost 2 or 3 Knights, you've only got 2 or 3 models left, so you've lost. You've lost half your army. And if they haven't got the thing to deal with Knights, and you only lose 1 or 2 by the end of the game, then you've still got a lot of Knights left and you win. So you either win big or lose big. It used to be that way with Grey Knights, when Grey Knights were the elite army. Either they won big or lost big. Because Grey Knights did everything back in 5th and 6th edition. I mean, everything. They were awesome, and they were turbo expensive, so points-wise. So they either completely dominated, or you had nothing left at the end and they completely lost. Same when Custodes came out in 7th. Custodes, small miniature, highly elite army, either were turbo broken and destroyed everything, or you made all your 2-up saves or 4-up saves and you just walked over people, or you got tabled. Grey Knights were like that, either table or tabling-ish, or they're close to. Custodes were like that, and now it's Knights. That's what happens with high elite, low model count armies. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. That rock, paper, scissors thing, it you know, it needs to be there. In warfare, massed infantry cavalry charge against an artillery position is not a good thing. Sometimes you brought the wrong tool for the job, and the war game should be big enough to have that flexibility in it. The Space Marine 2 Helldrake fight was reduced to a game of Bejeweled. I have to say, it was probably the least played mission. I did it quite a bit. If you got a heavy bolter, you're fine. But I have to say, it's probably the least played mission that I played as Space Marine 2. I fudged dice rolls to let noobs win. Well done, damned Legion 40k shorts. You fudged dice rolls to let noobs win. I fudge dice rolls all the time and microwave them, make sure I get the best dice rolls. You know, it's 10 seconds, right, on the thing, yeah, like that, because obviously you've seen my dice rolls. Obviously the Emperor's Children, unbeatable. Fudge dice rolls all the time. Shadow swords do great against knights. Yeah, exactly. So say you rock a knight army and your opponent's got 2 shadow swords and a bunch of tanks and then infantry screen, that knight army is going to lose. Or you bring a knight army. See, I went to an SN retreat. I am a 2021 No Retreat Legend to Legends champion. I don't know if you know that. I don't mention it very much. But I've been there quite a few times, actually. I think I've been there about 7 times. Not the Legends event, but there was another event that I went to where I brought knights. I was that guy that turned up in knights. And I think it was 8th edition. It was probably 8th edition. I came 3rd. And I lost my first game. It was against Tzeentch Demons. And that Magnus... It was Tzeentch Demons with Magnus. And they all had invulnerable saves and they were all super quick. And the knights... It was a really good counter knight list, actually. It was a really good counter high... Anyway, I lost my first game by quite a lot. I think I had like 1 knight left at the end and the guy outscored me everywhere. And I was like, fine. And then so I got drunk for the next 2 days and proceeded to win every single game. And out of the next 4 games, I tabled 3 of my opponents. One of the games... The only game that I didn't table my opponent on, which was another win, was I ran my knights against Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics, who was bringing Grey Knights. And I beat him with my knights against his Grey Knights. But only just because 1, Lawrence is an awesome guy and an awesome opponent and knows what he's doing. And 2, because Drago went on an absolute tear and took down like 2 knights on his own. But I won that one as well. That was a close... Apart from that game, which was a really close game, and I really had to think, and I won the other 4. And I came 3rd. And that's knights for you. Either the one that I lost big. And out of the 4 that I won, 3 of them I won really big. So I would cheat in order for others to have a good time. Yeah. If you're... For noobs, maybe not cheat, but for newbie people, I would definitely help newbie people win. Especially children learning. Yeah, if you're teaching a child, yes. I wouldn't be cheating with children. But definitely help them win. Kids as well. They want to win. Kids are competitive. So, yeah. If you want someone to get in the hobby and stay in the hobby, the best way to get them in and help them get in is to help them win the first couple of games, Yeah. What were you chatting about? What was the title of this stream? What are we supposed to be talking about? We actually talked some 40k. We did the food at the beginning. We did the Christmas thing. We actually talked some 40k. But I did put a title on the stream. What was the title? Best and worst of 2025. That was it. I wanted to talk about 2025. No cap. No Riz. Bro. So, let's Let's talk about 2025, shall we? Lock in, chat, okay? We're going to talk about the year now, okay? Cheating against kids sounds so terrible. So long as they have fun, yes. It depends the age. But anyway, lock in, chat. We're going to talk about 2025, okay? Best work battle report. What? Best and worst. Best and worst battle report. Best and worst 40k video game of 2025. Well, the best 40k video game of 2025 was clearly Space Marine 2. Did that come out this year? Best worst battle report. I can't remember all the battle reports, Nosferatu. If you guys have got an idea of what the best battle report was for 2025, then please shout out in the chat. But I don't remember most. I can't. The wins and losses don't really stick, except with the Emperor's Children, because it's been a nightmare. But a fun journey. It's like trying to, if you're trying to do the thing it's when I get that win, it's going to be so sweet. So sweet. I have had a win off camera, but if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it really make a sound? So I don't think that one counts. I need a win on camera. And it's going to be so sweet. So I don't really remember the wins and the losses. I do remember some wins and losses, but I remember the moments. I remember when that guy killed that guy. I remember those 10-inch charges. I remember not lighting my hammer aflame. I remember those things. I remember the glorious moments because I play so much. It's hard to remember whether I actually won or lost a thing. But I remember the 13th have done well the last couple of games, but that's because they're recent. But I remember the glory, and the challenges in Heresy or the hero moment sergeants. I remember those moments. I think maybe it's an age thing because I barely remember what I had for lunch, so it's probably an age thing. If we weren't all unks and I wasn't the unk of unk, I'd probably remember whether I actually won the game last Tuesday. Orcs versus Orcs, everybody won. Thank you. That was a good one. The October one was smashing. The Orkiness of Sullivan Gilbert, yes. Yes, that was absolutely fun. I mean, again, I remember the games where I'm laughing my ass off, like Sullivan Gilbert laughing my ass off. Elliot's, the one that I had on Wednesday, which is up for Tier 3 channel members. If you want to support the channel and get some extra content, then you could become a Tier 3 channel member, which unlocks an extra battle report every single Winter's Wednesday. That one that went up on Wednesday, hilarious. My sides were hurting by the end of that. Best mat reps always involve orcs. Yeah, Hobbypocalypse bat rep was my favourite. Yeah, Hobbypocalypse every year. Awesome fun. I tell you what though, by the end, 4 people in a room together, Titan shooting at them, really good fun. By the end, it's a long one. By the end of that one, it feels, the last couple of hours are like, I can feel my knees. Mind you, I can always feel my knees. I can feel everything. It's a workout. It's a workout. The funniest of 2025 was certainly the Night Lords. The 4-way guard was one of my favourite. Yeah, the Hobbypocalypse 4-way guard one. That was that was funny because there's lots of moments kicking off in that as well. Crazy moments with the Titan blasting right, left and all over the place. I also remember that one quite distinctly because normally when I do a 4-way with the boys, for some reason they decide to pick on me most of the time. I don't know why. I think it's probably because I'm clearly they know I'm 2021 Legend of Legends champion, so clearly like the biggest threat. I'm the alpha in the room. I'm also wiser, better looking, stronger, faster. I could run a mile, Clearly I'm the athlete in the room. Definitely. So, they are threatened by my alpha maleness. I can't even take a straight face when I say it. But no, they pick on me because I would too. And on that one, the Hobbypocalypse this year, I didn't get picked on as much. I didn't get picked on as much, which was nice. I actually got to do a few things. I think the one like last year, I was gone by turn 2 or turn 3. They were like, let's kill Winters. I was like, oh, God. So this time I actually got to play it. All the 4-way custom scenario games were absolute aces. They were. I do love a 4-way. Who doesn't love a 4-way or a 3-way, eh? Who doesn't? Any of you guys, have you ever had a 3-way or a 4-way? I certainly have, and I think they're fun. So those are the best battle reports. But let's talk about Tactical Genius. I know, right? Good looking, athletic, Tactical Genius. It's just, you know, I think if you Google Tactical Genius, it says check out Winters SEO. I think that's what I think it does. Rogue Trader was a cracking game, by the way. Rogue Trader, do you mean first edition where you needed a DM? 2 people and a third person? It was a cracking game. Unplayable without a DM. We made our own little rule set for a 3 or 4 man free for all. Best hair, I know, yeah. Like the Hare Harrington in Stranger Things. I'm quite enjoying Stranger Things. No cup of tea. If they target you, that should sort them out. Master Swordsman, dude. Not only am I a Master Swordsman, I am a beta. I am a Master Beta as well. Yeah. There's many titles you can give me. And Master Beta is one of them. Yeah. But 2025. The best and the worst. Lock in, chat. Okay, you ready? Rogue Trader video game. The Rogue Trader video game? Was the Rogue Trader video game a cracking game? Nosferatu says the Rogue Trader video game was a cracking game. So if you're looking for a cracking game from 2025, check out the Rogue Trader video game. I didn't hit that one up. I didn't hit what Bolt Gun came out this year as well, and that was like a Doom thing, and that was supposed to be really good fun. I am going to get to Bolt Gun at some point. Anyway, I wanted lock in chat. We're going to talk about Games Workshop's best of 2025 because their best lists came out, and I want to get your opinion on it. Their best 5 miniatures. Did you guys see it on Warhammer Community? What they think, and people voted for this, by the way. People voted on what they think their best 540k miniatures are for 2025, and you can go on Warhammer Community and see them. But the top 5, the top one was Logan Grimnar, and then second Fulgrim, and then third Athon Shan, the new chapter master of the Raven Guard, and then fourth Licky the Phoenix Lord. And then 5th, Lord Marshal Dreer. Now, having met all of these in the flesh, I can safely say that Licky the Phoenix Lord should not be in there. I completely and utterly refuse the notion, even the concept that in the top 5 there'd be a pointy-eared elder. Also, the other thing I want to point out is 4 out of 5 of them stood on rocks. Everyone stood on a rock except Fulgrim. Now, Fulgrim model, fantastic, but not as good as the Heresy model. The Heresy model is fantastic with the wings. It looks more dynamic. The Fulgrim model is good, but not fantastic. I have to say that... 1 minute. I have to say, though, that the Logan Grimnar model is poggers. Pog champ. I will riz that up no end. I love that model. It looks good. It's so good. You look at it and think, I want to collect Space Wolves. It looks good. Better than the Santa Slay version. Lord Marshal Dreer as well is a bit mid. What do you guys think? Logan was fun to paint. There you go. For the people should play. Fulgrim model gets my vote. I know it's similar to previous, but man, it's amazing. I've got it here. I still haven't stuck it together. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. I'm looking forward to sticking it together and painting it. It's going to be the last thing I do for the Emperor's Children because I'll have the colour scheme down by then. And I don't want to screw him up. I want him to look pretty. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty dynamic cool looking model. Definitely. Yeah, I think it should be a top 5. The Eldar, you can come in this. My wallet prefers the 40k Fulgrim. Yeah, I mean the resin one is a bit more expensive. I'm sure Fulgrim has 2 stones in there somewhere. Is Dreer truly on the rock or just a pile of money? He's got on some rocks. Dreer is on a couple of rocks. I was checking. Dreer is on a couple of rocks. Lickies is all over a rock. Athon Shan is on, the goth hair guy. He's on a big pillar of rock. Logan Grimnar is on a big chunky rock. I like what Sultan did with that though. He turned that big chunky rock into a slab of ice. The bases that Sultan has done on his Space Wolves, all the rocks he's turned into ice chunks. They look really good. And that blue-white gives them a real pop. So are we happy with this top 5? Logan Grimnar, Fulgrim, Athenjan, Lickies. I'm not happy with that one. And Lord Marshal Dreer. I was wondering if you think there should be if we could replace Licky with clearly what should be in the top 5, what would it be? What would it be? We're taking Licky out. Okay? No Phoenix Lords are allowed in our top 5. With the thing, with the stuff and the thing. It's just, nah. I mean, a Karandras model, maybe, but Karandras is dead to us apparently. But 40k, a top 5 model, you're replacing with Subdun Khan on the jet bike. A Space Marine in 40k on a jet bike. I'd replace him in a heartbeat with Subdun Khan. Any more takers for getting rid of Lickies? For 40k models. I like the flawless blades. I mean, Lucius came in at like number 6 or 7 or something, but there's so much character in the Emperor's Children flawless blades models. I really enjoyed sticking them together. I really enjoyed painting them. They look mean as fuck. They are cool. I think the flawless blade should be in there. The knife here stays. The knife here does not stay. Lickies? No, with the thing and it doesn't. No. Chthonian Earthshakers? No one knows what that is. No one knows. What is a Chthonian Earthshaker when it has clothes on? Who knows? I think, no. The knife here does not stay. Are we saying that we're keeping Lickies in the top 5? Because I'm not keeping Lickies. I'm going to put flawless blades in there unless someone else. I'm trying to think of what else came out that really stood out to me. The flawless blade model's cool. They are very cool. Very cool. I would put the jump captain with that. The smash captain's back with a hammer and the jump pack. He's on a rock as well. But the pose is really cool. I'd put him in there before I put Lickies in there. Call me bias. The artillery team. Yeah, the artillery team is pretty sweet. The Krieger ones. The Krieger artillery. Okay, it says there's a heavy weapon Krieger team with a 4-barreled autocannon. That looks awesome. Or the Krieger artillery with the multiple missiles that no one ever fields because they look like Kadusha Russian missile rockets from World War II. That looks cool. I like that one. Another Calgar. No. Flawless blades are nice, but the standard Emperor's Children Marines are amazing. The standard Emperor's Children kit is good. I like the Emperor's Children. I enjoyed putting them together. I enjoyed painting them. I enjoy looking at them. I enjoy licking them because it's excessive. What about Lysander? Dude, the Lysander model beats Lickies. Like the new Lysander model he looks like a chonk. You stick Lysander, when people if people hold up a Lysander model in front of you, and next to Imperial Guardsman as well, you're like, yep, he's just going to run through that. And the Lysander model is cool. As much as I love Emperor's Children flawless blades, they're very mid to me looks-wise. What? What about the new smelly Lord of Poxes? He's somewhere in the top 10, the Lord of Poxes. He is in there. He is in there. But he didn't make the top 5. Honestly, the whole Emperor's Children range is perfect. Perfection. Of course it is. It's perfect. The Emperor's Children range is cool. The Emperor's Children range is very cool. So in the top 5, we have Logan Grimnar, Fulgrim, Athon Shan. We're going to put Lysander in there instead of Lickies. Lickies, the Phoenix Lord, is gone. Big pile of pants, that is. And Lord Marshal Dreer. Has anyone actually got Lord Marshal Dreer? I looked at it. It looks cool. Let's face it. The new Rough Riders, because they're not really horses, right? They have claws. They have like Space Marines have 2 hearts. Those horses have like 7 and 8 bladders. They are genetically engineered monstrous killing machines, those horses. They're not proper horses. So the horse looks really cool. But is it a top 5? Is it the Death Corps of Kree Katusha rocket thing or the heavy? Yeah. But we're sticking with that, are we? No other going once, going twice, going 3 times. Any further suggestions for top 5 model of the year? Sold to me. Sold to me. We've only got one person saying that Lickies should be in there. Sold to me. So Lickies is gone. We're putting Lysander in there. Nothing will ever top Cotiers for the worst mini in the current range. Yeah, Lord Inquisitor Cotiers. Worst miniature of 2025. The wrong trousers comment. Any plans for 2026 winters? Any new projects? Well, we're going to finish off the Emperor's Children first through the Hobby Apocalypse. Got some Morphines to do. I've got the Keeper of Secrets to do. And I've got Fulgrim to do. Then I'm going to add to the vehicle range for the 13th Primarisify. I don't have enough Primarisify vehicles. So we're going to get some Impulsors, some more Gladiators, maybe a Repulsor. We're going to add them to the 13th. So I've got more tanks for the 13th. Those are the projects. Also, I'm going to show you this picture. We're filming the first one. Where is it? Recent. There it is. Damn it. I should have... Where's the saved? Saved. There. I found it. We also have this. Coming in 2026. I mean... The Iliad Stone. Winters. SEO. Wrote 7-part, unless he dies, unless it goes horribly wrong, should be a 7-part narrative campaign featuring Mikey P. The last 2 narrative campaigns I did with him, Saga of the Red Frost Part 1 and 2, we both had an amazing time doing it. People still mention Saga of the Red Frost to me when I'm at events and things. And we were very, very keen to revisit that magic and do something similar. So it's Rogue Trader meets D&D, sort of. And he has no idea what's about to befall him. And we're going to smash that out in the beginning of January. So it should be up for Tier 3 channel members at the end of January, beginning of February. And it'll also, I think we'll do the first one. I'll put the first one up for YouTube for everyone. And I mean, all the campaigns are available for Tier 3 channel members. So that's just, they pay the rent. They pay the bills. They pay everything. I wouldn't be here without you if you're a Tier 3 channel member. If you're a channel member of any kind or a patron, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So they get all the campaigns. And I think that the first one will go up on general YouTube as well to entice more people to pay my mortgage. Saga of the Red Frost was amazing. I know, right? Loved playing Saga of the Red Frost. And yeah, we wanted to revisit some of that. So that's what we're going to do. Andy H is building a 10-man tactical support squad. Pardon me. My pussy kept me up last night. With a glorious 7th Legion and can't be asked with tiny magnets, so rotor cannons or plasma guns. They're both bad. Plasma guns, no good. Rotor cannons, no good. Can you change your tactical support squad so it all has disintegrated guns or melter guns in it? That's what I would do. I mean, plasma's breach on a 6, but they're too expensive. And you'll never overcook them to breach on a 5 because they overload on a 2. So I don't think I've rocked plasma guns in this edition yet. because they're so bad. And rotor cannons are only strength 3. So they don't do anything. They might suppress, but they're not going to kill anything. So the new disintegration guns or melter guns are the way to go. Rotor's not all right for stasis effect. Yeah, they're not all right for stasis. So they're strength 3. So first you've got to hit, and 2/3 of them are hitting. Then you need to wound, and only 1/3 of them are wounding. So out of all the shots that you get through, you're wounding 6-7 times. You might be killing, if it's a standard Space Marine unit, 1 or 2. With a full squad standing still, 1 or 2, literally they're bad. Then putting a stasis effect on them, potentially, but you've got a 50-50 chance of passing that anyway. And there's many ways. There's better ways to get stasises out there. Havoc launchers on rhinos. If you want cheap ways of maximizing stasises, there's 3 ways to do it. 3 ways. Sniper rifles, pinning, leadership test, better. And pinning as well is good because pinning is pinned. That's one of the strongest stasises you can put on someone. So sniper rifles on recon squads, havoc launchers or flamers on rhinos. If you're bringing many rhinos, then just go flamers, heavy flamers. If you're only bringing a couple of rhinos, then havoc launchers. And the third cheapest way to do it is Gravis heavy bolter rapier batteries, suppress 2. That's the cheapest and best way to do it. Have 2 Gravis batteries, 80 points and 80 points for 2 of them, 16 shots each. You only need to wound. Suppressive 2 on cool, and cool is typically 7, so that's down to a 5 or less, or you're suppressed. That's the best way to do it. Melter it is then. Yeah, having 10 guys in a rhino with melter guns is a glass cannon, okay? So the rhino with the dozer blade is gonna move 12, then they're gonna disembark 7, so that's 19 inches you've moved. With a 12-inch threat range, that's 29-inch threat range. Now, when you move them, when you pull them around, when you get them out and shoot the thing, they are going to die next turn because you've moved them all the way around. They're going to be exposed and something's going to jump on them and potentially kill them, or just shoot them with loads and loads of bolters and kill them. But no one's going to come round within range of them, otherwise they'll just re-embark inside the rhino. But you need a rhino, 10 melters. But the thing that they do shoot is that they will kill. Damage 3 melter guns just picks up Saturnine Terminators, picks up any type of Terminators. If you manage to get in melter, if you don't manage to get in melter range, you're insta-killing light tanks. If you do manage to get in melter range, you are killing Land Raiders and Spartans as well, because you just need 2 of them to get through on a Spartan, or 2 of them to get through on a Land Raider, and that is 12 damage, dead Spartan, dead Land Raider. 2 6s to wound, and you will kill a Spartan or a Land Raider. So a melter gun team in a rhino, I fear that. I've got one for the glass. They would kill anything and they would die. I've got one for the Sons of Horus, and I do use it, and it is very scary. It's also because it's such a threat. When I go up against a 10-man melter team in a rhino, or a 10-man multi-melter team in a rhino, you know where it is hiding behind a building, and it's there, and you've got units here, and you're like, well, I'm not going to bring that one round this way, or I'm not going to bring that one round this way, because that 10-man melter team is just... I'm not going to move my Saturnine Terminators anywhere near that. I'm not going to move my command squad anywhere near that, because that melter team is just going to get out and annihilate everyone, and they're going to die. It's such a threat. And it's not that expensive. I think 150 points with the melters, 80 points for the recon team is 230 points to field that unit. And they will kill units twice as expensive as them. And board control. They will control an element of the board because of where you know they are. And they will kill more than their points worth when they come flying out of there. If you really, really want to be filthy, at 3,000 points, you can have 2 rhinos with 2 10-man melter teams in. Just at this point and this point in the battlefield. Like, one over in this quarter, one over in this quarter. just hanging in there. The amount of board control that they have. You don't want to shoot them close up because the return fire. You don't want to get close to them because they'll just jump back in the rhino. The best way to deal with them is from more than 12 inches away with lots of bolter shots. But you want melters. The rotor cannons just aren't doing anything. Plasma guns are overcosted and they breach on 6s. They're not doing anything. But they are killing things. They are doing some things, but not a lot. There's a Night Lords battle report coming out next Wednesday. Heresy 1 Night Lords. Sam Nash brings his Night Lords, and on all his Sky Hunter bikes, he's got plasma cannons, which are basically long-range melters. Also, plasma now, by the way, strength 6. It's not strength 6 and strength 7. It's all just strength 6 now. And he's got plasma cannons on all of his bikes. Watch that one on the Wednesday and see how mid the plasma cannons are. They do kill, but they don't kill anywhere near as much as they used to. They used to be a really good choice. Now they're terrible. Thank you for your $1.99 donation, Tactical Genius. Plasma is pretty good in Thousand Suns with Rending. It is in that particular force. I would go with Melter all the day. This edition of Heresy, if you want a mean list, in Heresy 3.0, you want a minimum of 40 tactical marines in, say, 3 rhinos. One of them is staying at the back. They will win you the game. Tactical marines and a rhino will win you the game. Jumping in and out of rhinos onto objectives at the end of every turn, and then jumping back in one when someone comes. Minimum 40. 2 Praetorian command squads. They have weapon skill 5. They have 3 attacks each. You can put them in Land Raiders, you can put them in Rhinos, it doesn't really matter. Attach 1 to a champion with a prime upgrade and attach the other one to your Warlord or a Centurion. And then in this 10-man squad, give them all combat skill shields, 20 points to give all 10 of them a 5 up invulnerable save in close combat. What's that all about? They should be 5 points each for a combat shield. Make it 50-point upgrade, but no, 2 points each for a 20-point upgrade. And as for close combat weapons in your command squad, ran them with different levels of punch. I've ran one where all 10 of them are fists or hammers. Complete overkill. You don't even know to do that. All you need is about 5 of them with fists or hammers. It doesn't really matter which, but 5 of them with fists or hammers and 5 of them with chainsaws and chain axes. Because the 5 with chainsaws or chain axes, they're just wounds. When you get shot at, when you get hit, they'll be taking hits first. And then the character that's in there and all the power fists, they'll kill everything they touch. 2 Praetorian command squads with 2 characters attached, 40 tactical marines, and 2 melter or multi-melter squads. What I mean by that is 10 melters in a rhino, or 10 multi-melters in a rhino, or 6 Sky Hunter jet bikes with multi-melters. But yeah, 2 squads with multi-melter firepower or melter firepower. You got your 40 tactical marines, you've got your command squads, you've got your melter firepower. That's going to be about 2,000 points. You don't even need another 1,000 points. That will win you the game. Because the melters will kill anything elite. They'll kill any Terminators. They'll kill any command squads. They'll kill all the elite stuff. The tactical marines will win you the game. And the 2 Praetorian command squads going up there are so overwhelming that Terminators or elite or Vanguard squads coming back again, you're going to match them, or you're going to match anything elite coming back again, or kill anything that's not elite coming back at you. Then that's a good list. On top of that, for the remaining 1,000 points, I would just fill it up with Dakar and Stasises. So a couple of Rapier teams. You need a Centurion to unlock all the other stuff. So you've got a Centurion. A couple of Rapier teams with heavy bolters for Stasises, cheapest chips, chucking out loads of Stasises. And then anything with a lot of long-range Dakar firepower. You want the long-range Dakar firepower to basically get shot at. You need threats, so your opponent is shooting your threats and not shooting the things that are going to win you the game, which is the tactical squad and the bricks going forward and the melters going forward. So you want a Leviathan with a storm cannon array, or you want, in the heavy slot, you can bring 4 tanks. So you bring 4 Predators, all with conversion beam cannons and las cannon sponsoons. You can do that for about 130 points each in one slot. And you could bring a full autocannon team and a Leviathan Dreadnought if you want. But yeah. Or conversion beam cannon dreadnoughts, contempted dreadnoughts with 2 of them, but they're about 190 points walking around. Long range, powerful Dakar. Or if you're putting your command squads in Land Raiders, you've probably got 500 points left each. So you'd have the 2 squads in Land Raiders. Then that is long range, firepower, Dakars, the 2 melter teams, the 4 tactical squads. And then I'd probably add Predators to it. And some Rapiers. That will win you the game. With Havoc launchers on all the Rhinos. That's a really, really strong list for any Legion. If you want to get dirty. Hashtag don't listen to Witness. But that would be filthy. I'd be terrified of that. Iron Warriors can upgrade Rhinos with shrapnel bolters and Havoc for pinning and stun on 1 transport. Yep. Winners, almost 2 hours. You need to go back to your life. Have I been going on for nearly 2 hours? Dude, I have nearly been going on for 2 hours. And I've got to set up the table for the battle report I'm doing tomorrow. Thank you, Servo Skull, for letting me know. Thank you. So this is a 2-minute warning. We did talk about some of the best and worst of 2025. I had a whole other thing to go through about the best and worst books. We're not even going to go into that. But you guys, I enjoy these chats. This is fun. Thank you for joining me on this Talky Tuesday with me, your host, Winters SEO. Don't forget to like and thumb up and share, and Twitch Prime with your thing, your Amazon. That's a thing streamers do. If you'd like more content, then become a channel member, tier 3 channel member. If you just like to support the channel, see me on Patreon, or just become a channel member. Thank you to everyone who is. I love you. Looking forward to 2026 and 11th edition and the Iliad Stone, the campaign that we're doing. I'm not here next week. Next week, I'm in Poland for a couple of days. It happens to fall on the Tuesday. I'm rather looking forward to going because here it's like cold and miserable and rainy, but over there it's snowy and cold. So it's going to feel really Christmassy. I'm looking forward to doing that. Raging Horn has dropped 5 gifted memberships. Can we give a GG's in the chat to Raging Horn for gifting the 5 gifted memberships? Thank you so much, Raging Horn. Like I say, I won't see you next Tuesday. Normally I say see you next Tuesday, but I'm not going to see you next Tuesday. I'll be back the Tuesday after that. Actually, no, because Rogue Trader campaign I'm filming on the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I'll be shattered after because we're filming 2 a day. Well, that's the plan. I'll still get on. After the Rogue Trader campaign, I'll get on. If I'm not here next Tuesday, I will be here next Wednesday. But I plan to be on the Tuesday. It just depends how mentally screwed my brain is. I'll let you know if I can't make it. If I'm just busted inside. I might be busted inside. I hope not to be. I should try and pace myself. But thanks, guys. That was a great chat. I enjoyed myself this evening. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed yourself as well. Service Gold just dropped $10. Raging Horn, GG's to you, mate. Thank you. Service Gold, GG's. A pint on me. Thank you, Service Gold. So not only donating, but also super chatting. And thank you. I appreciate you, mate. GG's to you. Liam has been a member for 34 months. Thank you for your 34 months membership. Using this before it expires. Read Dropsite Massacre yesterday. Overall, didn't like it. Felt like an advertisement for other books at the time. Dude, that's one thing I was going to talk about. Because number 1 on Games Workshop top 5 books of 2025 was The Drop Site Massacre. And I'm like, what the hell is that doing at number 1? I thought it was a good book. You didn't even like it very much. And Interceptor City by Dan Abnett came in 3rd. And I would say that was... We got top 5. It was Drop Site Massacre, Void's Guard, Interceptor City, Archmagos, and Ashes of the Imperium were in the top 5. Ashes of the Imperium being 5th. Ashes of the Imperium? That book wasn't... It wasn't... All 10 books in their top 10 Black Library books of the year. They're all 40k, by the way. All 10 of them. All 10. And they also said that the Drop Site Massacre was the unanimous winner of their top 10 books of the year. I'm calling a fix. I'm calling a fix on that because they also put the Saturnine Dreadnought in as one of their boss models of the year. And that thing, I really like the Saturnine things and the Saturnine Praetors. I like them. But I know it's divided the community. And I know there's some, it's Marmite. I know some people who bloody hate it. So I'm calling a fix on that shit as well. But yeah, Drop Site Massacre, top 1, unanimous. I'm calling fix on that. I thought it was good. You hated it. Happy New Year, says the Eternal Crusader. Thank you for your 22 months. When it comes, all the best. No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Eternal Crusader. Thank you. Thank you for the Happy New Year. Thank you for all your loves and wishes, guys. I appreciate you. And I'm gonna. That was nearly 2 hours, and that was good. So we are leaving. We are leaving. Got to do the thing on the thing. I'm gonna press that thing on that, and I'll let you guys get to sleep and things and. Have a Happy New Year as well, guys. I mean, seriously, thank you for all the love and support this year. Thank you for keeping this roller coaster, this mad roller coaster. It continues to roll. Thank you for helping me make content for you. I wouldn't be here without you. You guys are awesome. So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much and happy wargaming.